If you like infantry, you'll like this video. We have two high-level players, two top 10, top 16, depending on where you look at it, players, and we have two of the fan-favorite infantry civs. DauT, the legend from Serbia, is here playing as the Goths, and then we have thie, who is ACCM. He's playing on this account, and he is playing as the Japanese. And if I were to rank infantry civilizations in terms of how frequently they were picked and popularity, I think that Japanese would be number one and Goths would be number two, or Goths would be number one and Japanese would be number two. I'm not sure. These guys are at least in the top 5 of fan favorite infantry civs. Goths for their epic spam and their cheap infantry, and then Japanese for the faster attacking infantry, and then also a Japanese for the elite samurai, which, let's face it, is just disgusting. And we'll see some of that maybe in this game. The map is 4 lakes, and on this map, Japanese excel way more than Goths do, because Japanese have so many bonuses suited for any map that has water. Just the cheaper mining camps, lumber camps, and mills means that there's wood savings in the Dark Age, which can lead to a faster dock, and then additional fishing ships for the Japanese. Then Japanese fishing ships have armor. Japanese fishing ships just are more efficient overall, if that's the way you want to go. For Goths, the problem with them is that, well, I call them the most imbalanced civilization in AoE 2 for a reason. It's just doesn't... It's such a weird one balance-wise, because they either destroy everything in post-Imperial, or they die early because they don't have any bonuses. They don't have cheaper lumber camps and mills. They don't have anything that stands out about them eco-wise. The only thing nowadays is the fact that Loom does research instantly. And even that over the last year has changed a lot because they made it so... I mean, Goths, the devs are at least working on them. Because at one point it was that Loom was free and then too many people were sending villagers forward to be annoying. Now it's Loom is researched instantly. Previously it was that... Oh yeah, they gave them a crazy discount in Dark Age, blah, blah, blah. So the devs are trying to find some way to find a middle ground with Goths, but it's just the nature of the civilization. I think it's always how it will be. And I'm okay with that too. Because when I'm casting or playing as Goths, it's always the thought of, okay, we have to make it to this stage. If I have a chance with Goths, I have to make it to mid-castle age, and I have to be in it. I can be behind by 5 or 10 villagers, but it can't be any more than that. Can't have any massive mistakes. Whereas other civs with massive mistakes can sometimes come back from it. So you'll see pond focus throughout this game for the food income. ACCM went underneath DauT's TC and DauT never garrisoned, and I think ACCM... I think he's laughing at that right now, because DauT didn't garrison to shoot his scout. That's pretty funny. Anyways, ACCM with his dock already. He'll have a fishing ship out in just a moment. And the second one's already on his way. And the total economy is here at the top. It is this bottom area, and you can see DauT just slightly ahead with the fishing ship, actually. But that's what you want to pay attention to as we're watching the game. You can also see how much is on food, how much is on gold, how much is on stone. So this lake aspect makes me prefer Japanese over Goths even more than if this was Arabia. It gives Japanese an additional edge because they're better at competing on water. But it doesn't mean that DauT can't sneak a villager down here. At some point, Doc starts stealing some ponds, and there are 4 ponds. They called it 4 lakes when they added this to the ranked queue. I imagine because they didn't want to tread on the toes of whoever created the map Cross originally. But competitively, this map has been called Cross for a long time. And then the DE devs just called it 4 lakes. Again, I believe it's because they didn't want anyone being like, well, we made it, you know, so they just made their own version. It's the same thing. And, if you lose 3 or 4 villagers, just to put this in perspective of how important the fish is here. Let's say DauT goes for man-at-arms and he kills 3 villagers on this wood line. Well, if he loses water, then ACCM would be ahead. Because ACCM will clear out more than 3 fishing ships most likely. So, I mean, fishing ships also are so much more valuable than a villager early. because it's 75 wood investment, but that fishing ship can collect all of this. It's not like a farm where you get limited amount of food and then you have to refresh. So DauT on the way to feudal age, and same with ACCM. DauT adding the barracks, and this is the start to a fun-filled infantry battle. I used to think that this was how the game was played. I thought champions looked cool. I thought Teutonic Knights looked cool, and Jaguar Warriors. And Arbalest was very unexciting for me. I never made those units. You see a lot of Arbalest in competitive play. You see a lot of Paladins. Now, I loved Paladins. But anyways, my point is that it's pretty freaking sweet to have a game with so much infantry. Now, if DauT starts to switch into infantry too early, the Japanese do also get Arbalest with full upgrades. And DauT with a massive mistake here. What are you doing, dude? I honestly don't know what he was thinking here. I don't know why he would move out and send one militia out. Like, okay, free kill for you. And so DauT now has a real uphill battle on his hands because it's Japanese man-at-arms, and there's 4 of them, and Japanese man-at-arms attack faster. So it was going to be 4-4, and even then you'd prefer to have Japanese. But now it's 4 versus 3, and DauT, a civ that cannot stonewall, has to house wall and palisade wall everywhere to keep these units out. Update on the pond situation. We do have a villager going this way, so ACCM wants to expand that fishing eco. He also has walled to the edge here, so he can safely fish this pond at the same time. So all the wood you're getting, instead of adding farms right now, you're going for fishing ships. DauT has not chosen to go to another pond yet, but he is using the discount that Goths have on their militia to make more now, and so it's 5 versus 4, and good start to this fight for DauT, honestly. I think ACCM will be very happy with the scout kill if he gets it. He does get it. Yeah, I mean, DauT now has 4 men-at-arms remaining. ACCM will hopefully have some walls up at home or some archers. Now, he's actually adding more men-at-arms. Let's go! No more. We're done with that meta of 3 and done into archers. The people wanted infantry. We get infantry here. 6 men-at-arms, and here comes DauT. And that, I think that ACCM is only expecting the 4 that he had seen at DauT's base, and not 6. Archer range and blacksmith for ACCM. This is ACCM's point of view. He sees the units. He quick walls the units. Well played. He is fishing over here. But DauT seems to have more eco working for him. I think it's just more overall fishing ships. Maybe ACCM went to that second dock a little too early. That's still 150 wood. Ooh, DauT thinking about docking here. ACCM sending a villager this way at the same time, but he's probably distracted with this right now. My guess is DauT either walls in his villager so he can safely get the dock up, or he attacks ACCM's villager. The smarter move would just be let your dock go up and deal with ACCM's villagers afterwards. Now over here, ACCM on DauT's berries, and this was not something DauT was expecting, is a smart move from ACCM as he kills 2 villagers and pulls those villagers off of berries. And that evens things up a little bit. And certainly, the eco for DauT seems to be more harassed right now, and it's not quite as balanced as you would want. ACCM has berry villagers, he has gold villagers, he has wood villagers. DauT has wood villagers and gold villagers. He does not have berry villagers. But pretty sick stuff here. I mean, this is so high level, right? Players microing in so many different situations. Can't wait till Hidden Cup 4 comes in March, because this will be one of the maps that we will have. Of course, it'll have some changes made, you know. It won't be the same as everything we've seen before. Oh, no way! DauT sent a man-at-arm up here, and ACCM has to try and get this dock up. That's a 90%. It might be a DauT dock. Fails the quick wall. Quick wall. Oop. No way. It's a 93%. That's huge. And at the same time, when ACCM was trying to do that, he lost an archer to the man-at-arms. So DauT, I mean, he doesn't have near as much food banked up. He clears this up too. I'm going to switch this over to this part of the overlay. So you see the total. Where's the total KD? There you go. There's the total KD. Yeah, DauT doesn't have as many resources banked up right now. But thankfully for him, he's going to be able to fish in the north and keep that protected for now, while also fishing at home. And so both players have 2 pawns. But the macro from ACCM is just insane. He's on 2 ranges right now. He's on his way to Castle Age. DauT has 100 food. While he has more on food, I think he invested more into food. He made skirmishers, which is food. He got fletching, which is food. He made a lot of man-at-arms, and while it's discounted, it's still food. Can DauT survive? Can he hold on if ACCM gets to crossbow? While Goths are able to counter that at some point. Look at this hero man-at-arm. This hero has already denied 1 dock. He might even deny a second. But, shoot, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Goths with Huskarls can counter crossbow, but you need to be in Castle Age. You need to have a castle, so it's why I say Goths are so imbalanced, because you're good if you get to a certain spot. Otherwise, you might just get smashed. It really looks like ACCM does not want to let DauT take this pond. I mean, it is a way to get a lead in this map to pressure the ponds. But maybe he's not expecting DauT's going to be so late to Castle Age. I think if he were to just pressure DauT's base with crossbow, DauT would be in big trouble. DauT does have more economy working for him. And actually, let's take a look here. DauT has 12 fishing ships here. 7 fishing ships here versus 8 and, well, it's a total of 15. So DauT just added more in the way of fish. Now, people have asked me many, many times how many fishing ships you should add per lake. And I always say 8 to 12. And of course, I always say it depends. It depends because if the pond isn't secure, or if you don't need as much food, you might not need to add as many fishing ships. So in this case, I think 12 is the maximum you'd want for this. If you add too many, eventually this will run out and that'll hurt you. And then I would always push over to another area. DauT with skirmishers over here. ACCM trying to do a lot right now. And maybe that's hurting him because he has 2 groups of armies and he's also macroing at home. I can't even show you everything he's doing right now, but he tosses away that army. And all because he wants to get a dock up, but he has not been able to do that just yet. Now in here, he snipes 2 villagers from DauT, make that 3 villagers from DauT, and DauT was adding another barracks. And another villager goes down, so lots of Vill pigs here. And this is the Castle Age advantage. If ACCM had that whole group, I think DauT would be dead. DauT's still somehow in this because of the fishing ships. So in many ways, I said that I prefer Japanese over Goths. Much more on this map, and that's definitely the case. But DauT, with Goths, has been taking advantage of the fish more than ACCM has been able to. This is so cool to see. Only a few crossbows, but getting as much value as possible, buying as much time as possible. Why? So he can send in the next wave. And there's also a knight here now. So a knight with no upgrades. That will be useful against any skirms. This must be so stressful for your DauT right now. And ACCM was able to get a dock up here. Knight goes in and takes out a man-at-arm. Anyone else stressed out? This is ridiculous. Villager still dying on the berries. But I said it in Dark Age as another Vill goes down here. DauT still has a chance because overall the eco numbers are pretty close. And that's because of the fishing ships. So if he holds this pond, and this pond continues to freely fish, which definitely will be the case, it would be almost even when it comes to economy. Goths always have a chance. All right, DauT. I mean, this is such a DauT thing, man. To have that gap there, he could have made a gate so his villagers could go through, but nope. Whatever, I lose a villager, who cares? He's got plenty of elite skirms right now. He does have some stone, but he's not mining it yet. Let's get an update on ACCM's situation. ACCM with 2 town centers, and he went to the second town center right away because I noticed his stone go down. And he placed it on the stone, so you can see how much stone he has. So he's definitely aware as he goes for the 3rd town center. More villagers pumping for both players to get more and more economy, to make more military. But yeah, as DauT defends up here, that was a juicy demo. ACCM's definitely aware of the fact that this will go towards infantry spam, which is why he's on stone already. Now, ACCM's military were very effective if you look at the numbers. In fact, let's look at the eco killed and lost stat here. Wow, look at that. So DauT has killed 3 eco and lost 15. And it's, I mean, he is behind now, but he's not as behind as you would be on a standard land map. But the point I wanted to get to here is that even though ACCM was able to kill so much eco, it still has not felt all that good for him in the middle of the map. And I think that's because, maybe it's because he lost so much military to trade versus eco. He lost 2 batches of crossbowmen. He lost some knights. So sometimes if you go for eco kills, it's not always a good thing, because that counterattack from the enemy will be very strong. All right, so he's got some knights in here with some upgrades, and he's got some crossbowmen. He really wants to get this castle up. And DauT has long swordsmen and skirmishers, and he has so much more military. 30 military versus 10. DauT doesn't have the best army, though, to fight underneath a town center. So it feels like eventually this castle's going to go up. Also, truthfully, knights in numbers, there's only 4 of them here, but knights in numbers very good against longsword and skirmishers. So yeah, DauT tried to deny the castle. That was such good thinking from ACCM. The fact that he went to stone first with that second TC was amazing here. If he did not have a castle up there, he could have been in trouble if DauT mixed in some siege. Now he's just using the crossbows against the longswords and the knights against the skirms. And I think DauT, and this is normally the theme when you watch Goths play, I think he's going to lose these longswords and lose a lot more in this game. Because Goths never need a positive KD to win. It's so cheap for them, they can just spam endlessly. The KD is normally, when Goths win, it's normally a negative KD, which is one of the wildest things. Of course, there are plenty of games where they kill more early and the game ends, but more often than not at a high level, when Goths win, it's because they have a negative KD and they're just tossing bodies to the floor. DauT raiding the gold with long swords hype. And he's also losing long swords in the middle to knights, and there's some samurai out now as well. That's pretty good for DauT because he's killed villagers, and he also has not had to worry about his own eco, at least protecting it, in quite a while. So, what has DauT been up to? 3 TCs. Mixing in some farms now makes sense because you'll need to have some farming eco once the fishing runs out. Here kind of looks like these villagers could go down. Yep, looks like it indeed. And this is perfect for DauT. Just continue to raid and keep ACCM at home. Now, guys, this entire time, they've also been fighting on water. As if you needed to be more impressed with what high-level players are able to do. ACCM has really been committing to this northern corner. And he might need that gold later on. Like, if he doesn't find some reward for this, he might end up regretting investing this much gold. But also, DauT has 12 fishing ships. He takes that out, and then DauT is way behind. Even though there's only, let's say, 1,000 food left, I'd still say it's worth it. Just all depends. DauT has, let's check the farmers here. He's got 15 farmers. He's now adding fish traps against the 10 farms. So DauT's been faster to the fish trapping. Oh, wow. Oh, no, ACCM. I think he misclicked them. But yeah, DauT's been faster to the fish trapping, faster to the farms, faster to the food income. ACCM is just sending a demo over here. Let's see how many kills he can get here. Hello? 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 Oh, God, don't tell me. He's obviously distracted. No! What? I think he put the demo on no attack stance or defensive stance because sometimes they don't listen to your commands. But you also have to command them. Oh, man, ACCM falling behind with some small things here. It end up being big things at the end of the day. Not checking his idols, not seeing those fishing ships aren't working. Still focused on this little pond. Relentless pressure, man. Crossbows, samurai, and knights were over here. What's DauT up to again? DauT's on 4 TCs. And he went for the approach that's better economically, which is delay the castle. Whereas ACCM had to have so many of his early villagers on stone to get this castle. So the rest of his eco isn't quite as good. DauT runs in for raid. Gets quick walled out. ACCM doing the right thing to stonewall. Very smart against Goths. And DauT needs to deal with this. Crossbowmen and knights. I don't think they have the longest future, the brightest future ahead of them. Maybe they'll take a good fight here. Seems like they still could, but eventually ACCM needs to think about the samurai. That's right. Samurai, they beast against most other infantry units. They have a bonus against unique units. That's very nice. But also Japanese infantry attacks faster every age. That combined with the fact that Japanese, as DauT will clear this up, but that combined with the fact that Japanese get full blacksmith techs, whereas Goths lack the final armor technology, which is a big one. It definitely makes me think as ACCM, oh, it didn't have horsepower the whole time. I look back at that, but yeah, Japanese samurai just are better in every fight. The difference is just the cost. And so I'll go to the tech tree once DauT was an imp. We can talk about the cost, but the cost is heavily discounted for Goth champions. So while it's weaker, both in attack speed and attack and armor and all the stats pretty much, you can spam them really fast with perfusion. It's almost instant production. And that's what it ends up being at the end of the day, is just, can you spam enough of them to make up for the fact that they're weaker units overall? So it basically gives you... It makes the fact that you're worse off in some way okay, which is why I think low evil players pick it. Not to make you guys feel defensive here or feel attacked, but like, if you don't need to have better stats when you forget blacksmith upgrades, yeah, pick Goths. I mean, Goths make it so that's not a big deal. I mean, even now, the longswordsmen should get shredded by these samurai, but especially an imp, especially if elite comes in. So we have 1, 2, 3 castles for ACCM. I think the big thing is to make his base unraidable, because, well, Goths can afford to send champions, almost like stables where you build them on the side of the base and just stream them into the eco. Goths can afford to do that with the fact that they can produce from barracks. Whereas ACCM has to produce from castles. He's only got 3 of them right now. Elite Samurai is on the way. If DauT were to take out both docks, then ACCM's fishing ships would not be very useful. That dock stays up. I noticed that DauT has so much more food income and has consistently. I mean, it's 59 versus 55 right now, but look at what DauT has banked up. He is ready. He is ready. He's just been more mindful of farming upgrades and farms, and he's been more mindful of fish traps. And the fish in general. He added a bit more. I'd say he added 20 to 25% more throughout this whole game. So, the bar you want to pay attention to is right here. That's military number, okay? So if we see a massive engagement with samurai against two-handed swordsmen, I'm going to zoom in more now at this stage of the game. Pay attention to that number. Because if it's even, DauT's in trouble. But if DauT has more, like 20 to 30 more, he can maybe hold. Elite Samurai, 80 HP, 12 base attack with attack upgrades and armor upgrades coming in. DauT with 60 HP, 12 base attack, two-handed swordsman. And lacks that final armor upgrade. Champion is on the way, but watch how quickly his barracks produce after perfusion. I mean, he's up to 210 pop already. And that's the thing with Goths. The fact they also get 210 max population, which makes that spam potential so much brighter for them. And DauT using two-handed swordsman against a freaking castle here. But I think he's going to toss away these units. It's not an intentional toss, but nope. ACCM will just defend. Just barely. Takes an engagement over here. DauT still with more overall population. DauT with 30 more military. That's something he needs to maintain. And yeah, guys, we have We have the ultimate infantry showdown here. The Japanese samurai, the Goth champions, DauT's reinforcements flooding in. But the samurai are stronger in even numbers. Somehow ACCM is going to have to break DauT's eco. Because, while it is cheap for DauT, of course, eco ultimately funds all this. I think if it continues like this, DauT is just going to flood here. ACCM will run out of gold. DauT units barely cost any gold. And then DauT will win. 23 military versus 63. ACCM did just make another castle, and he secured himself some more stones. So he's going to be able to produce them faster now. And the KD is at the bottom right, and you can see how poor the fights go for DauT. And maybe DauT should have mixed in some trebuchets there. I'm not sure. He really felt like the champion spam would do it, but he's losing so many units. 28 on gold for ACCM, so still has gold income. I like this move just to lure DauT away with some units. And DauT even attacking this castle. I mean, the champions are no joke against buildings. They're honestly no joke against the castles. I would get murder holes if I were ACCM. But how long can DauT afford to spam? There is a gold over here. And DauT spotted that and raided that and will probably try and lock that down. He's also building barracks on the side, like I said. Dropping the barracks here. Dropping the barracks here so we can raid. He's about to get raided, though. This is crazy. DauT still has 4 tiles of gold there that he hasn't started to mine. That combined with this gold, if he's able to take it, we'll see if he does. That means DauT has quite a bit of gold, and DauT also has 2 relics. ACCM has 2 relics, and they're... Oh, the other one's over here. Relics give a trickle of gold. So will DauT regret wasting so many champions? I think ACCM's raids have distracted DauT. This is something that he had to pay attention to. This is something that he has to pay attention to, and this has given ACCM time to get the samurai number high enough. When I say high enough, it's 45 versus 45. If all the military units were to be at the same spot right now, ACCM would just destroy. So DauT's got to shift-click up some champions. You can see he has 15 barracks producing versus the 4 castles from ACCM producing the samurai. I think that a lot of people will... Oh, wow, good raid here from DauT. A lot of people will be thinking, what if Japanese go for another unit? Like, let's say hand cannons. I actually forget if Japanese get hand cannons. I'm pretty sure they do, though you never see it. And while hand cannons are supposed to be a counter to infantry, I think there's so many things, so many reasons why I wouldn't suggest them. And the big thing is the gold cost. Samurai, if I'm not wrong, is 20 or 25 gold. Hand cannon is 50 gold. And so for a 30 HP unit that's not mobile, that barely moves, for it to cost that much gold, I just don't know if it's quite strong enough. Certainly at a high level, like Goths also get access to hand cannons. And imagine what DauT's life would be like if he had 20 of those things trying to chase down the samurai. The samurai are just too fast. So at the high level, or on open maps, I guess, when people can run around, that's where I'd say no to hand cannons. DauT with a trebuchet, 2 trebuchets here to take out this castle. No can do just yet. DauT attacking the docks. I mean, this would be huge. That's 15 or so fishing ships that wouldn't be working if he takes those out. Samurai still running around. DauT coming in with another wave. DauT still protecting that trebuchet. Very hectic game here. 48 minutes in. And no sign that this is going to end anytime soon with both players having similar economies. It's just that story of DauT having 20 to 30 more military. But each engagement seems a little bit worse for him. Look how strong the samurai are! That was amazing! They were already so weak from taking out town centers. What a sick engagement there. Yeah, DauT gets a castle up on this side. And DauT's trebuchet was sniped by ACCM. Well done, ACCM, to hold. But you can't just hold against Goths. You've got to kill, because DauT has a lot of gold remaining. And he can last the distance. Let's talk gold income for ACCM. He's got 16 on gold. The 16 are right here. And DauT can just set his waypoint and then queue up a few champions and raid that gold at any time. I'm not seeing any other gold spots for him. No, not really. I mean, this gold here, I don't know if that was supposed to be ACCMs or what, but that really is going to be important. I think if ACCM does not take that gold, he'll probably lose the game, because if ACCM can't take this gold, it's unlikely he'll be able to comfortably take this gold, but we'll see. 70 military for DauT, or 69. Nice. Make that 74. And again, ACCM realizing the struggle in fighting straight up when DauT can reinforce constantly. So he will run in and try and raid again. DauT with 28 on gold. It almost feels like he got additional gold tiles here. I mean, he's so much gold. I think he has extra gold secured. Like, maybe this is a neutral and this is a neutral. We'll have to look after this. You guys can't remind me because I'm not streaming this. But he's so much gold income. I need to look at the map again. My guess would be that DauT has 2 of the neutrals, and that this one is one of the starting golds for ACCM. But I could be wrong on that. Big raid here for ACCM. If DauT's not careful, DauT will lose a dozen villagers. Hello? There they go. They're finally attacking. And DauT, thinking that maybe a forward castle would protect his Trev. Big engagement. That is going to be a DauT castle. These samurai should wreck here. Now, granted, DauT's going to have the reinforcements, but look at the samurai go. 600 kills for ACCM. 350 deaths. The castle is denied at 79%. That Treb should go down. But ACCM's out of gold. He's not out of gold. He's been rated on gold. So he's trying to queue up units. He can't queue. He'll probably sell some food or sell some wood right now. So, never mind. I think DauT, whose face is on the side of this unfinished castle because of his reputation, he'll finish his castle. He'll come forward with a trap and he'll try and take this one out. You know, the gold has done it for DauT. 80 military versus 25. The only way you get gold now if you're ACCM is by selling food, and that only goes so far, and he calls the GG. I'm surprised, actually. I thought he was going to play that on a bit longer. Okay, I lied. I take it back. I'm not surprised. This castle would go down. This castle would go down. Maybe this one stays up. He could save one of the 3. And then this is the only safe castle he'd have after that. Yeah, that would be brutal. Okay, let's look at the statistics. And this is uncommon for me, but I actually want to look at the map after the fact. 635 kills, 366 deaths. ACCM still somehow lost that game. And you look at the gold collected. Again, this is mind-blowing to me. ACCM had more gold collected. The food count was a couple hundred off. The wood count, DauT had a 500 wood lead. Or 5,000, excuse me. ACCM had more stone, but there was very little in it when it comes to gold. Both players did a great job at exploring the map. DauT still just had so much gold remaining. And I think this has to bring us back to the fact that, well, 2 things. ACCM did spend a lot of gold trying to win a pond, which he never was able to win. But also, Goth infantry is so much cheaper. Also, ACCM made crossbowmen. Crossbowmen cost gold. He also made knights. Knights cost gold. DauT made elite skirm. And longswords. Elite skirm do not cost gold. And longswords cost a very little bit of gold. But still, I want to look at the map. Excuse my crazy recorded games here. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. This one. Okay. So let's just pause and look at this, and this will be our outro to the video. So, it looks like DauT has a slight advantage with gold position. Slight. I mean, you have to play the game. You have to lock it down. But main gold, 4 tile gold. Let's just say these are DauT's. And then we'll say that these 2 golds are ACCM's, right? Because they're pretty close to them. So these are guarantees. The 2 golds that ACCM is going to need to jockey for is way out here and over here, the golds we talked about. And then DauT's, this one seems a bit easier for him to wall in. And then this one as well. So I feel like this gold and this gold, it feels more accessible for DauT. But then again, if the game plays out differently and ACCM focuses on DauT's gold, then it could be a completely different game. So it came down to DauT's gold control and how cheap the Goth infantry units are. But my goodness, what a game. Guys, if you enjoyed this game, tell me what you think. And because this was an infantry battle, which is so rare, I want your, not your ideas, but just your general thoughts on something you'd like to see more of with uploads. Because as I work on YouTube-only casts, I look at your requests, and using this as an example, infantry v infantry is really cool, but yet very rare. So if you think of something that does occasionally happen at the high level, whether that's a civ or a unit, whatever it may be, leave your suggestion in the comment. Leave a like on the video if you can. And I am off to record more YouTube-only content. Have a great day, YouTube. We'll see you.